So, my last day being a teacher at the school that I recently resigned from was last Friday. And as you can imagine, considering that right now it's December, I quit in the middle of the school year. And as an educator, that's like the last thing you want to do, quitting in the middle of the school year, because it's really sad because you have to break your children's hearts. I taught so just for context, I teach English and literature. So we call that ELA for short. So I teach ELA at a middle school, a public charter school. And but anyway, I have so many great relationships with the kids that I have taught this year, but also like my previous students that I've taught. I've been at this school for 3 years, so I have such a good rapport with those kids. I mean, they see me after school, they see me during breakfast time, they see me throughout the school days, and they just come and talk to me. So it was so hard to leave, but I reached my breaking point. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you why I quit in the middle of the school year. I'm going to explain to you why so many teachers around the country are burnt out in 2024. Okay, I'm going to start off. Where do I begin? There's so many angles. Let me just go with number one. One of the issues I had at my school was they did not and they do not hold children accountable for their behavior. Like I said, I'm speaking for my school. I work at a public charter school, and a lot of public charter schools, not all, but a good amount of them operate this way. And unfortunately, my school was one of those schools. But so, as you know, prisons, they get funded per inmate. And it's actually the same for schools. For a public school, they get paid per student. Okay? And with that being said, at my school, they will just take any child, even if they have severe learning disabilities, even if they had severe behavioral problems, we would take them. And let me just say this. I've actually, in my teaching experience, I've actually taught children with learning disabilities. So this is not a dig to kids with learning disabilities. I love all of my children. All children deserve to be taught. But the point that the reason why I'm making that a problem in this video is because they would just accept all these children. Whole time you were not able to properly accommodate these children. And so it's like these children are not even able to really get the support that they need. Some of these kids need to be on a 12-to-1 or 6-to-1 teaching environment, meaning they need to have, they need to have literally in a small group where it's like one teacher and just 6 kids, or one teacher and 12 children, or in some cases they just need one-on-one teaching, right? And so it's like we're accepting children that we can't properly accommodate, number one. And that's just, and it's sad because it's not even just with the children who are underperforming or who are underdeveloped mentally and from a learning perspective. It's also children who they would accept an influx of children who had severe behavioral problems. And what that is called in the school system, we call that a BIP, which stands for behavior what is it? The student has a behavior intervention plan, which is a legal mandate, and they are required to have accommodations, meaning they have like a para or someone to support them because they are so their emotional regulation is so thrown off that it tends to disrupt the learning environment of the classroom, and sometimes they need somebody to take them out of the room, etc. And the reason why this is an issue, people, is because I told you guys how it works for the prison system, and the school system is the same. They get paid more money for those children. So they get paid even more money for the kids with behavior plans, for the kids with learning disabilities. So guess what? They are having an influx of these children. The children are misbehaving because they don't understand the material, and they're frustrated because sometimes the kids with behavioral issues also have learning disabilities. And so they're disrupting the classroom. They can't focus. And guess what? My school also did not have a solid behavior management system at the school. We call it the culture team, the culture response, meaning when kids are acting in an egregious way, when they're disrupting the learning environment, we have to have a very clear discipline system. Back in my day, okay, your ass would get suspended from school, you would get, ISS, you would get detention, and those things would feel They would feel intense. Those would be things that you do not want, and you would feel bad about it. But at my school, you go to the culture room. Okay, you go up there for like 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then they bring you back down. And then some of the kids actually like being there. They having a good time. The other bad kids are there. And we're also understaffed. So it's like the culture team is understaffed. They can barely support all the things that needs to happen. So they're overworked. They're under pressure. So they'll get the kids and send them right back. Get the kids, send them right back. The kids come back in my class doing the same old thing. They acting out. Kids running around the room. Kids in and out of the classroom. I'm like, what the hell is this? I literally had kids running around the room, screaming, cursing, trying to fight. And I'm doing all of the things, I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do to get the class back right. But those kids, again, they need bits. They need extra support. They need those foundational things to help them navigate the space. They don't have it, so they hauling ass. Now, my last week of school, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. One teacher, well, she was a permanent sub, and she's an older woman. I respect her so much. She's like in her 70s. These kids have no freaking respect to any adults, to the point where literally this one kiddo took the wig off, snatched the wig off of a teacher. Okay? And guess what? That teacher, or that permanent substitute teacher, she was sent home. They got to do an investigation. So she's sent home, right? And I don't know if she's getting paid while she's on this leave. I don't know. But they sent her home, but the kid was able to come to school the next day, right? So I'm like, the kids are not learning how to act as human beings. When you are a school system, you're not only teaching kids how to learn and grow their brains and learn all these so much information. You're also teaching them how to you're helping develop them as humans. You're helping develop their character, their integrity, all that. And so the message that we send when kids can literally rip off a teacher's wig is that, girl, do your thing. Wild the fuck out. We don't give a shit. We got kids coming in and out the classroom, kids running around the room, kids screaming. I mean, we had kids throwing chairs. I had a kid, he was throwing his hat around the room. Other kids was catching it. They was playing with the hat like it's some type of toy. I take the hat. The damn kid is chasing me like he's running. He's coming at me, screaming at me. I'm like, yo, y'all got to get this school. Y'all have to start holding the kids accountable. There are certain schools that if you doing that, your parents are going to get letters sent to them giving them warnings like, yo, this is our first warning, second warning, your kid is doing this. Your kid is suspended for this amount of days. If this happens for a third time, a second time, your kid is going to get kicked out of the school. So the issue with my school is they don't kick kids out. I have kids who, some parents will take their kid out of school. They'll be missing for school for 3 weeks. I had one time, it was a kid, he was out the country for like a month. And his parents didn't even give us a heads up. We thought something had happened to him. We was about to get the social workers involved. Whole time he's on a vacation. He comes back, no problem. We don't send the families a warning letter. We don't let them know that if this happens again, he could probably get kicked out of school. Nothing, right? So you guys are getting it, right? The kids can do whatever. Now, let's talk about how we're not holding them accountable academically. So we have this, I hate this. This one really is like getting me mad. We have this thing where children cannot get below a 55. So if a kid comes to class and all they do absolutely nothing, they only put their name, their first and last name on their paper and that's it, right? Or they do one problem for the classwork and that's it. We are obligated to give them a 55. We can't give them a 0. We can't give them a 10. We can't give them a 15. We can't give them a 20. We can't do any of that. So these kids already, because they're getting like a baseline of a 55, they think that in life they can do nothing at all and still get something. So my problem with this school is like, what the fuck are we teaching them? We're teaching them that they can do absolutely jack shit and that at minimum they can get a 55? No. Because at this point, I don't even feel like, I got into education to help the future generations. Me doing that's not helping kids out. That is like literally creating a monster. We're enabling bad behavior. That's what we're doing. And then get this. I had several kids, this happened last year, but they do this every year. We also we have a policy, we cannot retain children, meaning your kid cannot get kept back. So if your kid fails all of their classes, if a kid does absolutely no work, they can still get promoted to the next grade. And I'm just like, no, what the hell is going on in 2024? What are we doing in the school system currently? What the fuck is happening? When I was in school growing up, if you were failing all your classes, if you were not doing the things, your ass is going to get kept back. But the beautiful thing about knowing that you could potentially get kept back is you're going to put in your best work, right? You gotta be scared of something. These kids and these families have no fear at my school. Their children can be absent for 2 months. The kids can be absent. The kids can be present and do no work. They can just come to school, do no work, disrespect teachers, pull off the wigs, run around the room, chase the teachers. I saw a kid throw a desk. He threw a chair, not a desk. He threw a chair at a teacher. They sent that teacher home. The kid stays. The kids run the motherfucking school. The kids run the motherfucking school. They do whatever they want to do without a consequence. They give them a little slap on the wrist. And then I'm like telling, administration my frustrations with them. I'm like, we got to do this. Why aren't we doing this? Why are we running the school like this? Their response is, well, the way that we get our funding and with the network, we're worrying about our data. They're concerned about data. They don't want to have too many suspensions. They don't want to have over like 8%, I think it's like 6 or 8% of the student population to be suspended. So they'll like pretty much tolerate all these horrible behaviors so that their data and their numbers look good on paper so they can still get funding. And for me, that is absolutely crazy because you are promoting a toxic learning environment. I have some really bright children who are actually trying to learn, some children who are actually very respectful in those classes who are trying to learn. And it's unfair for them to be in a learning environment that's so chaotic where the kids are unhinged. Y'all, it is just sad. I've never seen nothing like it. But another thing that's really sad that we got to talk about is a lot of these children's brains have been rotten due to technology, due to social media. So many of these kids spend their time at home on their phones, their own technology. They're on phones, they're on tablets, they're on laptops, and they are playing games. And they're just playing games, they're watching TV. And it's just been the most horrible thing because their attention span is so small because they're not at home reading, they're not at home writing, they're not at home drawing. So when they come to school and they have to do these things, they're like, they can't focus. And I get it, right? The economy is bad. People are like just struggling. These parents are overworked. So when they come home, they just giving their kids tablets. That's the sad part about where we are as a society is most, not all, because I just want to say this. I had some really good parents and shout out to those parents. But it seems like a good percentage of the parents just literally give their kids tablets. And some of these parents think they're doing the right thing. They think that they're doing good by just letting their kids be raised by phones and technology, but it is the most horrible thing that you can do. As an English and literature teacher, there will be designated times when the kids have to read. Read for 30 minutes, read for 15 minutes, read for 20 minutes. These kids can't even read for 1 minute. They're looking down, they're getting distracted. They're looking around, they're getting distracted. They're looking around, they're getting distracted. It's sad. And that is what we're dealing with teaching in 2024. The school systems are literally enabling the children by letting them do whatever the heck they want to do. There's no type of accountability. It's been instances where some families so one of my kids that honestly, I hate to say this, but this is one of the kids that I was like, yo, all right. They keep allowing this one kid. It was like, I had like 3 kids in this one class. All of them causing havoc. They just turning the fuck up. But I will send the kids up, they bring them back, send them up, they bring them back, right? I'll call one of the kids' parents. His mom was like, I don't know what to do. What do y'all want me to do about it? She literally said she don't know what to do about it. There's been other times when I call her and she's like, I think he's, there's people coming at him, pretty much victimizing him. And I'm like, lady, like your son is like the class could be, we can all be on task, we're engaged, we're doing the things. Soon as he walk in the room, the class lights up. And I'm like, lady, like this is, your son is the cause of the problem. So we have these parents who, they just see their children as angels and they don't believe the things that they're doing. I mean, yes, I love their children. They're amazing kids. They're really great one on one. But at the end of the day, when they are around their peers, or when they're triggered, or when they're bored, or when certain things happen, they turn into some. It's like some of them have like, listen, we're developing young humans. Some of them have personality disorders, undiagnosed personality disorders. And so, but these parents are in denial. So we have in denial parents. And I hate to say it, but we got to bring back whoopings, yo. I never thought I'd be a person to be like, yo, whoop your child. Whoop. Listen, some of these kids need a whooping, and these parents are not doing it. The kids talk to the parents like crap, and then they come to us thinking that they can talk to us like crap. Like I last year I was around. There was this little kid. He was cursing the teacher out, and this happened several times. So these are some of the things that led me to quitting my job. I said, you know what? And I had a meeting with. I actually had sent a resignation letter back in October, and they were like, we really want you. So one of my so for our first, we have like a network practice test that we take, and my children scored number one in the network for their ELA data, and I was very proud of that. But anyway, they were like, you can't leave. They're doing so well. I kind of had a restorative conversation. There's one of the few leaders at the school that's really good. But this one leader, she was like, we had a conversation, and she just really spoke so highly of me and let me know that she believes in me. And she was like, just stick it out. And so I was like, all right, let me stay a little bit longer. Let me see if things can get better. And also, again, I told you, I love my kids. Like, I really miss them right now. Like, it's been so hard. So I was like, let me do it for the kids. I stayed. Nah. And then let me tell you what another thing. This is another thing that really burnt me out was I had to create. I'm creating lesson plans from scratch, and I mean not from scratch, literally. I mean they do give me like a blueprint. There's certain things that I can pull from, but essentially I have to lesson plan. I have to create my lessons, my classwork, everything, and so which is fine. That's what a teacher does, right? But here's the thing. You would have to do a whole week worth of lesson plans submitted by a certain day. And so it was like on days when I'm burnt out from work, right? Because the work itself was stressful because it's like every class, every day is so hectic. It's so chaotic. You got to like give 150% to just manage the classroom and to deal with the level of just extreme behaviors, right? And then you got to come home. You can't even I didn't even have time to just rest up and just get my mind right and just, I feel like when you have a long day at work, you're supposed to come home and unwind. You're supposed to relax. You're supposed to be with your loved ones. You're supposed to cook. You're supposed to have sex, do whatever you need to do to decompress. But I would come home without the ability to decompress. I would have to come home and then lesson plan. I would have to come home and then grade. I would have to come home and do this and do that and do that. And it was just like, I got so fucking burnt out. And then like waking up mad early, getting bags under my eyes. I was like, yo, I just got fed up to the point where I was like, you know what? For the last 3 years, I have really neglected my personal life. This has affected a relationship that I was in. As you guys see, I have a YouTube channel, and I really put my YouTube channel on the back burner. Now y'all been noticing I've been putting these videos out. I'm like, yo, I gotta beef up the YouTube. I gotta keep at it because I really love this. YouTubing is a passion of mine. Like I love this. So I just want to say I love y'all for supporting me and supporting this video. If you haven't subscribed, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and like the video because I do this. I love doing this stuff. But anyway, I couldn't do the things that I was passionate about. I was like, you know what? Y'all clearly ain't gonna change shit. I done told y'all what my concerns are time and time again. I told them my concerns last year. Ain't shit changed. Actually, it's gotten worse. So I was like, you know what? I refuse to be a part of an organization. I refuse to be a part of a school that is doing more harm than good for children. I feel like, like I said, I love the kids. And in terms of the school, I love what they're trying to do. They have hopes to help, underserved communities, but unfortunately for them, they are doing a disservice to the kids. I mean, if the classrooms environments are hectic and chaotic, if there's not a really clear way to discipline children so that they can learn that in life you gotta behave properly. You know, you can't be behaving like this and think that you won't get a consequence. Because if you do some of the stuff y'all be doing in the classroom and you do it in the real world, your ass gonna get locked up, or you gonna really have some real severe consequences. You know, and then it's like, even when it comes to that curve, they think they could do nothing and get a 55. We are not setting them up for high school or for college. You know, and so for me, it became a spiritual thing. It became a, like, consciously, I can't be a part of something. Like, I'm one of those people, I gotta do something that's right. Like, I fight for what's right. I believe in justice. And part of the reason why I quit, it was because I felt like I'm not serving the kids right. Like, this is not it. And then it was affecting my mental health. Like, I was literally, when I tell you, it would be times when I wanted to cry. I mean, I was burnt out. I was sad. I was depressed. I mean, I was coming home with headaches sometimes from stress. It would have been times when my chest is hurting. I mean, listen, it was, and if you a teacher, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You probably like, yup. Some of y'all at home like, yeah, yup, he did. Boy, you better preach, because y'all know what I'm talking about. This shit is not easy. It is not easy. We are dealing with we're really dealing with kids who have been, unfortunately, growing up with parents who have no values and morals. You know, back in the day, a lot of parents were into the church. A lot of the parents were there were 2-parent households. A lot of the people had values. People were more conservative. These days, you got grandmas just coming out, you know how it is. Everybody want to be a social media star. Everybody want to be a reality star. Everybody they don't need a man, so they just fucking everybody, and they in the streets. You know, we are raising the kids of the generation of people with limited to no morals. Okay? And again, I'm not coming for everybody. There are some great parents out there. There are some parents with values. There are some parents who love their kids, and they're raising their kids right. So let me just name that. Shout out to the good parents. This is not for everybody, because there's some really good parents out there. I just got to say that. But it's a lot of parents who really they're valuing the wrong things. They're valuing materialism. They think that it's just because they're giving their kids money and they're buying them new clothes and they got the best materials, you got the newest iPhone, you got the newest Jordans, you got the biggest TV in your room, and they think that is enough. No, you have to you have to incite wisdom into your child. You have to teach your kid right from wrong. You have to, like, oh my God, there's so much you got to do to help your kid become a human being. Like, and a lot of parents don't get that. They don't get it. And then the teacher shortage is not helping. You know, a lot of schools are short staffed, and that doesn't help at all. You having to cover for other teachers, and it's just, the school system is a hot, stinking mess. But shout out to you teachers that are pushing through. All right, boom, give me some dap. Because I know it's some of y'all who are still pushing through. I salute y'all. Boom, I salute you. Keep at it. And there's probably some teachers at private schools. I'm pretty sure there's some teachers out there who have a good experience because they probably their school is ran right. And so shout out to y'all. Hopefully more schools can get it right. But there's a lot of schools that are struggling right now. Okay? The struggle bus is super real. So anyway, that I feel like I pretty much hit most of the things of what led me to quitting my teaching job in the middle of the school year. Those were the things. I just felt like it became severely overwhelming, and I'm in a place where I'm valuing my peace. I'm putting myself first. I'm letting go of things that doesn't feel right. And I've been knowing for a while that the energy at this school is just not right. And so, in life, sometimes you have to cut that plug, and I'm going to figure out what my next move is going to be. Will I get back at another school that is ran right? Maybe. Will I use this time to go full time with my business? Maybe. Will I be able to be a YouTube full timer? Maybe. We don't know. But all I know is I'm going to find some peace, and I'm doing nothing but things that bring me peace. And just know that you guys will be informed, and you will be in for the journey, and I'll keep you guys updated. If you stayed this long, I love you for real. Like, you got my heart. I love you for watching this video. You know you got to like it. You got to let me know you gotta like that, click that like button, leave some comments, let me know what you're thinking. And I want to hear from you teachers. I know there's countless of teachers who have quit, who have left education for good. I know personally people at my school, teachers who've left. It was so bad in my school, they left. They're not even in education, period. They doing other stuff. But I would love to hear from all you educators what your experience is if you left, if you stayed. I would like to hear that too, because like I said, not everybody's story is horrible, but this story at this school was. So that's my story. I hope it gets better. I love y'all for watching. Peace.
It's just real talk, and